All right. Um, Welcome to a stream of Rebots with one of the developers. If you're here for the first time, I do streams of different games, but I invite the developers of the games to talk about their work on the game. And today I have with me Felix, who's been doing a bunch of different stuff on the game. I'll open up the credits here. Oh, wait, it was all the way at the bottom. I've been looking through what you've been doing on the game, Felix, and it says, oh, well, you've been credited for writing and narrative design, audio design, music. Then I think the last one here is marketing. Quite a bunch of different stuff. I guess that's because the team was also fairly small.
Yeah, that is correct. I think UX and UI was also my thing. Just to I think I might be on that, but I think that was the main thing I did was the UX design, so all the player controller stuff and how the UI kind of functioned from not making the art assets and not actually hooking it up in the code, but kind of the link in between and how it all is laid out.
Yeah. I didn't get to tell you this before we started actually, but I was just looking through the credits here and down on the playtesters. I'm pretty sure that that this one is me, Rune or Rune.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I applied for working on the game about 6 years ago when quite early in the development there was a playtest that lasted there was only about 20 minutes of gameplay back then. It was only like the first little robot that you could play and not really any NPCs at all to talk to. So I'm actually also curious to play the game again and see how much it's grown.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool, actually.
Well, it still looks the same, right? It has a very definitive art style. So what I've been doing to set up here, I've just played through the tutorial, so we'll take the game from straight after the tutorial. And as an introduction, I'll just say that, oh wait, I should also introduce the game in its, like the idea of the game. It's a funny kind of mix of a automation game, right? It is an automation game, but where you are running around as a character in first person and you control robots that you send on missions, and then you get more and more robots in a cute, chaotic automation fashion. The story is that you kind of crash on an asteroid and then you start carrying out tasks to accommodate aliens on these asteroids. That's as far as I've gotten through the tutorial. I'll just click into the save game, and we'll see what kind of stuff we get to talk about, but you'll just stop me at any point if there's something in particular that you remember. Oh, this is an interesting thought process or design process that were behind those things.
Yeah, sure.
And we have a viewer returning one of the previous ones I've had on the stream. It's Samsung, who says, no response wished for chat. Wait, I don't get that, but also hello. Well, hello, Samson, and welcome back. You're very welcome to ask any questions, about the game. Well, we get this small info message. Maybe I'll read that. It's Sebastian. It's one of the NPCs that has been introducing me to my role on this planet. So he says, now that we're back, you're free to do what you want. But to start, I suggest you talk with Taco to get the restoration efforts going. Restoration efforts, that's because I crashed my spaceship on this asteroid. You should also accept a few contracts from the Grub Observatory. You're here to earn glyphs after all. The more you do, the further you'll climb the corporate ladder, which will unlock new perks and rebots. And rebots, those are all those robots that can carry out our tasks for us. Anyway, that's it. If you need me, I'll be in the shipwreck. And we're here at a spaceport. Well, and clearly I need to go over there to talk with Taco. I have these different devices available to me. I'm actually curious, can I spawn robots while we're here? No. Okay, doesn't look like that. I'll need to be at an actual contracting place to do that.
Yeah, it actually says it on the thing. It says residential area. Yeah. It was like our logic for you were not allowed to spawn stuff here.
And I think that makes sense. There's a lot of games that dabble into all this. Are you allowed to steal? And then you can steal, but you get very heavily punished for it. Sometimes it's better that, well, you're just not allowed to do it, right? If you're not supposed to do it, you can't. That's a way to control players as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. So if Taco is the one who starts all our journey, I'll start by just talking here. I don't know if there's a lot of dialogue. As I said, last time I played this game was 6 years ago before it came out, and there weren't really there were NPCs, but they didn't have anything to say at all. So let me know, Felix.
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's like dialogue trees that split into different, like it's not like, you know, a big RPG where it completely changes depending on what you say. It's kind of more just a gag, like what you feel like in this situation. But there is a lot more dialogue than what was there in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Is that some of your work then? It says that you were the writing and narrative designer. So has that been you writing all these texts?
Yeah, so no. I've written a few things, some of the more important kind of bits to the main thing. But my job was mainly the thing I was behind was the kind of the main plot, right? That you're the reason that you broke everyone's spaceport here. So, you know, that's the whole thing, is you got to fix it up. You're a new employee at the Rebots Corporation, and your main goal is just to fix the spaceport and restore it, and then become the best employee ever. And so that was kind of the framework that I had, and I also worked on the what's it called, the intro cutscene that plays when you start the game. But all the writing, all these different things are actually done by our level designer, Alice, who was like for Rebots. You know, it's all, most of it is procedurally generated. So
okay.
actually, except for the spaceport, which is handcrafted, and so that's actually Alice's work, and she also did all the writing for together with various people who aren't here anymore, but she's also our level designer for our next game. But yeah, so this is mainly her work.
Yeah. Okay. So I just clicked through the chat here, and she also says like, you're the reason why this is all crashed. Now you can either help clean up this mess, or you can leave and never come back. I think I'll choose to help her rebuild. Words are cheap, Rebotier. It's actions that count. Prove yourself. Restore it. Start by helping the locals. And now we get favor available. You have this very classic exclamation mark and question mark, I see. I think
yeah, I mean,
that's a
very
valid
directly
choice.
stolen from from Warcraft, to be honest.
Yes.
I think a lot of things we were like, in the beginning we didn't have these things, and you know, then you look to other games like, what do they do? Oh, you know, you want to direct attention to something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I think World of Warcraft were the ones to do this first with the exclamation mark, but it's just such an iconic and clear way to communicate that we see it in other games, and I think it's a totally valid thing to steal,
Yeah.
if you can say it like that. Well, if I talk to this guy, for example, what does he do? That dusty old cap and vintage uniform, perchance are ye the local rebottier? Well, that's me. Blessed be me Papa's beard, that's what I like to hear. Now listen, there is this. This here is a dream I've dreamt since I were a wee lad. Factories lining the horizon. The ultimate business, a methane empire. I can handle the logistics, but I need someone to lay the foundations. Would you help me find a suitable asteroid? Yeah, let's write history. We're standing on the threshold of success. From now on, you are my best subordinate. To start off, find me a pretty asteroid and deliver a bunch of mushrooms to me. Alright, so then we found a favor that we need to carry out. I'll just go around and take a little bit of a look at the spaceport as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of games that have this, right, where you have a little bit of a hub and then you go out on different missions, and I'm getting the feeling that that's what you have going on here.
For sure. So we didn't have a hub, but in the beginning, very early days, the game was completely different art style, different gameplay. It was like a top-down RTS.
Oh, okay.
Then it became more of a creative game, and then it ended up what it is. And we did have a spaceport at like a hub, but it was just like a flat parking lot in the beginning. And then when Alice came along, that's when we, did the redesign. And we wanted an area that felt, as your home base of operations, that expanded as you progressed in the game. So you open up more shops and like a museum and other parts, like depending on which quest lines you're doing, or for the different people. So you're kind of, you actually see it getting more and more restored, like new areas open up. And it also kind of creates it's an automation game in the sense that you're trying to automate a lot of things. So some things you might in the beginning have a lot of difficulty doing something very menial, that then can become trivial as you progress, right? So you don't want to continue getting the most basic of resources in the same way that you did in the beginning. So we kind of cut out that part when you have progressed far enough. So because then we're asking you to do more complex things. So you get like a shop where you can just purchase the resources that you're missing if you don't want to go grab them. But that unlocks later in the game.
Yeah, okay. Let's. I'll try and see if I can find a favor. Then I think this is the guy, Steve. Hey there, Star. Would you like to participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Well, count me in. I saw that you unlocked the scanning tool, and I'll introduce that in a little bit. Then, as it happens, I'm a rebot that could use somebody with your potential and equipment. I was sent here by the Rebots Corporation to scan all the local resources, but I'm very busy and important. So let's divide the work between us. Wanna earn a little extra clips? Yes. Traveling makes my suit dusty, so let's say that you do the scanning and I wait here and generate ideas. That's a fair deal. To start off, we need a basic scan. Find out what resources are here in this sector. Let's say you return to me when you've scanned 20 different resources. Once they open up the museum, it will be visible there as well. Okay, so we unlock the space bus so we can travel the solar system. So I guess we go up to that one. It's highlighted very clearly that we need to go up there. I guess you've been needing to do that since you have a fairly big hub.
Yep. But it also just that, like, not just the hub, but just in general in the game, like people often would lose sight of what they needed to do, even on fairly small levels, but where they needed to go. So that's why we needed this, like, look to the left, look to the right, to go to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Actually, just a funny thing. Steve was actually named after one of our early playtesters. So yeah, he got his name in the game, and
Okay, he was. Yeah.
some of some of the characters are also named after the developers. So I actually think the guy you talked with before gave you the other mission, the Beginnings, maybe was named Palace. So it's like a developer name with a P in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because they are called the Poople, those aliens. So I don't know, someone came up with the idea of putting the letter P in front of all the names, and then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's great. I've also been working on a game where if you know it, then you can kind of see those names. Like you can see that they are a little bit of developer names that have been mutilated in some way.
Hmm.
Samsung asks if there are any sources that inspired the game. I'm actually curious about that as well because it seems like a little bit of a unique automation game. So, what
Yeah, I
inspirations or
mean,
what were the initial ideas?
so I mean, the very very early ideas were from our CEO, Jake, who who's the one who started the game, right? And he has a background in artificial intelligence, and so he was very interested in creating this. And I think he just has a general interest for robotics as well. So I think that was, the idea was to create a game where he's also into RTS games, and so it was very kind of, okay, let's make a game where you program, and he's a programmer, so you program in a way where we can make it fun for a younger audience, and getting into to program your own robots to do menial tasks. I think it kind of changed over time. Like, it still has that rooted in the what it is you're doing, but I think it changed, um, for better or worse, to be like a lot of other different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can kind of draw a parallel to, well, a lot of RTS games still, even though it's a first person game, but you have your scanning thing that is pretty much from Subnautica, right? Like this first person view and scanning stuff, and that, yeah, the way that you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Something like the Metroid Prime games, I think, also was a thing. We have like this visor mode that you unlock later, where you get a visor in front of you. Uh, um, we have stuff like Slime Rancher was also an inspiration, like the kind of stuff you just find around the world to, like little extra objects, right? It's not just about doing the mission that you have, but there's a little bit of light exploration. So you might find a cache of money, in some random location if you're like looking enough. So I think there's like multiple different games that kind of inspired, but it wasn't. It was kind of as it went, because Rebots had such a long development. I think it was like 7 years or something, like from when it started off to when it finally released. So yeah, it's just and then games come out as you're developing, and then you get inspired by something else, and yeah, it probably would have been best that we just stuck to something, to get the game out quicker. But I think it ended up being an interesting thing nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've ended up with something that's quite unique. I saw I saw a YouTuber kind of do a review of it where they also like commented that it is a little bit of a mix of genres that like she hadn't seen anywhere else. I also haven't really seen it anywhere else. I think we've kind of found our first task that is at the core of the game. I have a quest here on the side that says humble beginnings, deliver 18 mushrooms to the mailbox, and that ties very well into like the tutorial that I just did. So I think we have a tool here called the spawner, and selecting that we can spawn a worker. And this worker, that must be like the core of the game, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think actually another game that I often drew parallel to, at least from my end, game design was like Lemmings, which is a very old game.
Oh yes.
So this idea that you're not you're not the one, you're trying to make all these kind of dumb creatures do stuff for you, and they can only do one thing at a time. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have all these like loops of them walking around, and I think that was the same for Lemmings, right? You had to like program a lemming to tell other lemmings to stop walking, otherwise they would run off a cliff, which is what real lemmings kind of do. They just follow the rest of the pack, right? So I think that was kind of the same idea, that like the robots should be kind of stupid, and it's up to you to make them smarter. Um, you could say that, I think maybe some of the critique the game ended up getting, which is justifiable, but it's like, I think maybe we tried to do a automation game, but it was kind of an automation game for people that maybe are just getting into automation games, or it's kind of the first step. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think if you're very much a hardcore automation game player, maybe some of it is a bit trivial, or you kind of wish that it had some more, depth. Or like, we also have this hand tool where you can do a lot of the stuff yourself, so you can, pick up things and mine and cut trees and whatnot. And this was like a quality of life thing. I think for a lot of people, it ended up becoming, oh, it's faster to do it with just the hand, everything by yourself. But I
Okay.
think it's kind of like in the end game, that's not going to be viable, right? So if you play the whole game just with the hand, at some point you're going to be like, oh, now it's like taking forever to do something, and then you don't know the whole kind of learning curve of like setting up the automation loops. And I think that kind of, if that's what you want, how you wanted to play it, that's fair, right, to the player. But I think that kind of, you kind of end up shooting yourself in the foot. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe is why, it's the automation part kind of falters in that. Because I think there's actually like an interesting thing that can happen when you get to the end game, and if you're really diving into the systems. But if you're kind of just playing it as a more casual game, which I think the game is giving off the vibe of, with the art style and kind of this first person, and you can kind of do everything yourself also. Uh, I think that kind of creates some confusion, of what it's trying to be. Uh, so
Yeah. Okay. I've been setting up the robots here a little bit, and I showed off the hand tool as you were talking about that. But what I did was just like have these robots go pick up a mushroom, then go to the mailbox, then go to a mushroom, then go to the mailbox, right? And did the
mhm,
same with the hand. But
yeah,
yeah, what you also have available is that then you have another robot that can tell these smaller robots what to do. So right now it's telling them to go to the mailbox, and the mailbox is telling them to go to the extractor. And then you can also wait. How do I actually do that? Let's see if I remember from the tutorial. I need to tell it to harvest the mushrooms. Mm,
if you right click it, you can configure it.
yeah, so that's what I'm trying. That's with the controller, right? So I right click it with the
Yeah.
control. Load tool.
Do you have it select? I think you have it selected right now. Like you need to deselect
there we
and then
go.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we can tell it to like what do the smaller workers do when they reach this extractor? Well, they need to collect stuff. They don't need to mine stuff. Let's see here. Find extractable. That's all kinds of minerals. We don't need that. And now I guess I need the extractor to just move into the zone with the mushrooms. So now the workers will get the information from the bigger robot that they're to pick up the mushrooms. Then go to the mailbox, and then the mailbox sends them back. So now we're starting this automation system, right? Then grab the controller again, tell the big robot to go to another area where there are mushrooms. And you know, this is about as much as there was in the game those 6 years ago when I tried it last. So I haven't actually tried the whole automation game going on that you have. But I did see that you end up with some 10 or so different robots that you can control.
Yeah. A lot of the ones that you get are, you know, to well, make it's kind of like your operators in Logic. So you get something that you can all of a sudden make, like, you know, a filter, like pick this up or do this, or, you know, you kind of have these I think it's called sorter, and there's something called the dispatcher, and they kind of open up the whole game for, you know, the bigger loops that you can create for having the workers go around.
See that Samsung is also pointing something out here. Let's see. Well, first automation game he tried was Python. Well, in a sense, I guess you could call Python an automation game, but the small panel thing with small plants panel beside minerals. I don't know what the question is there. Is it relating to the scanner? I'm not sure. Samsung, if you have a question there, yeah, let us know. I think by now these robots have been going back and forth. They've been gathering all the mushrooms, and now the next mission is actually hidden behind your camera. So maybe I will just move your camera down here. It says welcome Palace to the Codex, and that's the Alice developer that you mentioned with a P in front. So the Codex, I think that was on tab, right? Yeah. So now that we've kind of assembled enough or collected enough mushrooms, we can welcome an alien to go here, and that's kind of the whole mission of it all, and that's where we get our money from. We see firework as we are, yeah, there we go, welcoming an alien to their new home. Let's see here, Palace. Ain't that a wonderful smell? This place will be perfect. Thank you for setting this up. Once I get going, I'll call on you again. And I guess that's our first mission done here on the asteroid, and we'll need to go somewhere else, find another asteroid, and find another problem. Samsung is writing tabs in the filter for bot where you commented on only seeing minerals. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, when I was trying to look for how to collect all those mushrooms. Okay, now we've sort of explored one asteroid. We have some other asteroids here, and then at some point we can buy access to, well, we already have enough money actually to buy access to a new asteroid build. This is new to me. This wasn't there when I last tried the game. So is this gonna continue forever? You said that there was a lot of like generated content.
So it is, all of the planets are generated when you actually start a new game. So these are all like defined from the get-go, or like when you start a new game, then that's when the generation happens. But there's a limit to them. So what you see, like this entire map that you can scroll around, all the constellations that are there are the ones that are going to be there for the rest of your playthrough. So it's kind of like a loot box almost, in the way that you crack open a constellation and see what you get, and maybe you get something super good, in terms of resources, or maybe you just get a bunch of barren asteroids. But part of the game is also that you can change the asteroid's climate to be something else. So you can even change a barren asteroid to be something lush, if you spend the time on it.
Let me just go back to the space view actually here, because I want to ask: is this game inspired at all by Spore? Do you know the game Spore?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I don't know if it's about in terms of the space view. I didn't consider that. But maybe subconsciously. But Spore definitely has a lot of things in it. Like, well, for one, I mean, I also composed the music, and a lot of the like music that you hear is kind of that. We also originally had, again, a very early version of Rebots. You could build your own robots, kind of stick together all the parts, like arms and heads and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
that's
that was
nice.
definitely something that came from Spore. But I mean, obviously, that's not in the game anymore. But
did you have to cut it for reasons of scope, or did it just not really fit into the game?
Direction change. I think this was like after we went away from. So we had the RTS version, and I think it was still part of that. And then we went into the first-person view, and then we had this whole like kind of free-form editor where you can build like these really goofy robots, like just attach arms to arms to arms, stuff like that. And that was pretty fun. But I think just in terms of the, like, I don't know, for whatever reason it didn't work out, and we did another direction change. And then we did another direction change, and then it's what it is now. Originally, that first version, like both the RTS and the one that came after we switched to first person, it was all on one big map. Like it was just one, like a big desert kind of thing with some like an oasis here and there. So it wasn't this kind of thing where you traveled between planets. It was actually just one planet that was huge. Yeah. And kind of the idea was that you would go around with your Rebots and kind of find new modules. So as you explored the world, you would find new kind of, you would have these puzzles where you'd find new parts that you could then use in your logic setup. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, here I met someone who said we need to help Trevor make music, and we need to find some crystals on an uninhabited asteroid. So I'll go see if we can find an uninhabited asteroid. I don't know. I guess the one that we were just at, we've made that inhabited. Oh yeah, it also shows here an alien, whereas this one doesn't. So if I land on this one, I'm guessing this one will be uninhabited. And then the question is if there's even crystals on here. So that's where we get like a lot of the exploration in the game. We have to kind of go out and just explore, see what's there.
Yeah. I think maybe also I can mention that like the art direction from it, which came also in at a later point. That was when we got Simon Post, who also goes by the name Sklet. I think he still goes by that. He's also the guy who did the art direction for the Tri-Band games.
I was thinking this, right? Like those games, What the Car, What the Bat, all those games.
Exactly.
initially I thought this game was from that same company, but okay, it's the artist
Yeah,
who's been
so
both
he's
places.
actually like back in the day, it was like Triband and well, We Are Unicorns. Like they were both sharing Simon for all the art, right? So our like the whole brand image for us also as Flat Ponies. That's also him doing all that, right? All the unicorns and this stuff. And also this game, Aki Robots, which for some reason snuck in some screenshots, marketing screenshots into this game. This was a game that we did before, which was like a puzzle platformer, and this is also Simon's style, right? So this kind of flat look, and we wanted to try and take that into the 3D realm. So, which is very difficult. There's a lot of things about like how do you translate flat colors into 3D space and still have the depth. But yeah, so and obviously, you know, Triband is taken off with all that stuff, right? And Simon also since has done his own stuff together with a few other people. What are they called? They did Sulfur, first person shooter. This kind of what you call it, kind of procedurally generated dungeon kind of crawl. I guess you know, kind of you do another round roguelike thing, but very 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 bloody first person shooter with what were they called? Perfect Random. But yeah, so he's doing his own thing now. But yeah, that's the art style, and I think kind of the world of Rebots is very weird, in the sense of the aliens and kind of the humor that it goes into it, like the Trevors who you're doing a quest for now. Like this was basically just okay, let's come up with an alien species. Kind of stoner surfer dude. They're all called Trevor. Um, so that's like what they are, like just an entire alien species, but it's actually the kind of beanie that they wear is the alien itself. It's this little octopus thing. And so the human or whatever we call it, alien beneath, is kind of just a I don't know if it's a corpse, but it's at least some body that has been taken over by the octopus. It's very
Oh no. Let me
it's
see if I could get back and find one of these
yeah,
Trevors then.
it's kind of subtle, right? Like it's like when you see them the first time, you probably don't pay attention to it, but you know you just think, oh, it's just the way that they look, but there is like a kind of dark backstory to it that we don't really explain, but it's just kind of the humor that we had when we were doing it.
Yeah.
And
Let me
this is
see. I
very
think
much kind of
there's one of them here,
Simon's
right?
humor, right? Yeah.
Is this a
Dizzy is
Trevor?
actually, yeah,
Oh,
this is a
you also
Trevor, and
have
it
the
actually
crossed
the
eyes.
hat. Yeah. So
Oh
it's
no.
it's kind of like a parasite, right?
Yeah, I think this was the Trevor I talked to. Oh, and
Right here you can't tell because
yeah,
there's
because the
glasses on it.
octopus has kind of masked itself with the
Yeah.
ski glasses. So I didn't notice at all. No, it just looks like a hat in a way.
Yeah.
But you do see like those crossed out eyes. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you also don't notice because all the other creatures that are here are kind of weird yeah, everybody in their own way
Yeah.
weird. There was also, I saw someone with 3 heads, kind of just stacked on top of each other.
Oh, right. That's what are they? What is their name again? It's the one, yeah, over here by the next to the podium. It's actually it is famous tag lore called imps. And it's actually just 3 stacked on top of each other. It's to their right.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the shop.
So they're just like, yeah, Praga.
I'll be open real soon. Okay, so we haven't unlocked the shop yet. You mentioned a little bit about like the music as we were talking about Spore. I think there's it's a little bit just like a very calm background music. Is it the same music for the whole game, or is it the same style?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of semi-generative. Like it's a lot of ambient kind of pads and sounds that kind of can come in at random, but it still all meshes together, right? So while it's playing, you don't there's no real kind of composition to it. Like it's kind of just running in itself, right? And sometimes you get something that plays, and sometimes you don't get it. But I tried to make it in this kind of a thing that you can listen to for hours without it, affecting the game too much, because you're trying to concentrate a lot, so you don't want like music that is taking too much attention or calling too much attention to itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's also random which track you get each time you load in, and that part was kind of inspired by Minecraft. Also, I think the music is kind of inspired by that, and at least I don't know what Minecraft, like I haven't played it for so many years, but how it was originally, the soundtrack, it was very minimalistic and kind of ambient, and sometimes you would have no music, and all of a sudden you would just get some music in. And I remember the composer there also talked about like how it was random, but depending on what the player was doing at the time, it might make for a special moment for them, because maybe they just discovered some treasure, and then the music comes in just there, and that like really set with them. That was at least the intent that I was also trying to go for Rebots. I think I didn't really manage to get all the way there. Also, there's not that much music in the game. So the stuff that is there, I think, can run for a long while, but there is I didn't manage to make more, because I kind of did most of it in the beginning of the game, and then when I just started working here, and then I just got put on all these other things, and I thought, oh, I'll just get back to doing more music at a later point, and then that never happened. So yeah.
It's interesting to me what you're talking about with Minecraft there, because I always kind of disliked in Minecraft that the music would be gone for so much of the game. Like, and of course it has a lot of like effect when it then arrives, but wait, I'm getting distracted by this crate I'm opening. I'll wait with that one. With music that is there all the time, it's sort of like a background, and then I don't know, in Minecraft when the music is not present, then I don't know, it always felt a little bit void to me. So I get the effect of hitting at a certain moment, but I ended up turning off the music completely and just listening to music on my own beside the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was also why I didn't want to turn it off completely. And, like, I didn't want to do it as dynamic, right? Where it's like it's just not there at all, because it can also kind of feel like something is broken when that happens, right? That like, oh, why did the music all of a sudden not play? Did it just run out of stuff?
Yeah.
So I think the best is to just have something that can continuously run, but you can still have these kind of random moments where something special happens. I think to the point was more just that I just wish that I had the time to do more of it, right? Yeah. So, but it was also, my thinking was, well, I mean, people are gonna play this for a long time. They're probably just gonna put on their own stuff, and that's probably not what a game composer should be saying. But I'm also just a realist, and at the end of the day, that's completely fair if you just want to put on your own music. Because I think for a game like this, you're not really trying to do, or at least what it ended up becoming, it's not very much an emotional thing that you're trying to convey something, right? So is a lot more just the mental thing about concentrating on what is the task that I need to do. How can I solve that? So if someone puts on something, I don't know, meditative, or turns out the music completely, they don't want to hear anything, that, I understand that.
Mhm. I'm running around here trying to find carbon crystals, but I'm starting to realize maybe carbon crystals don't exist on their own, and we need to somehow create the carbon crystals from a carbon atmosphere or something. Is that can you hint me there? Is that what we actually need to do, or do I just need to find the right place? Because I see this one, for example, it has carbon dioxide, so it looks like we can harvest it.
Yes. I mean,
Wait, this
that is a way to do it. There are carbon crystals,
this
carbon
one has a
deposit.
carbon deposit.
Yes.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Let's go
So
there.
everything, all the resources are kind of like in a loop, right? You can't really destroy anything. They're all kind of built up upon like a base molecule almost, right? So, you can never like remove something completely. It'll just turn into something else. So you can always reduce something or convert it into something else. You might get into a position where it's really difficult. So that's your carbon deposit. Yeah. You might get into a position where it's really difficult, but the game is kind of designed to be that it's always possible to convert something, back into what you needed to. But it's kind of up to the player to figure out, well, do I want to spend the time, changing a whole planet to fit my needs, or do I just want to go around and find a more direct solution? And then at a later point, you can even purchase the carbon crystals, I think, from the shop, right? So you don't need to run out and find them.
Okay, I'm setting up here. I think now we're getting to the carbon crystals. So, and we're getting to some of the automation of the game here as well. So I've been spending a lot of time like just exploring as we've been talking. But now I can spawn in all these workers. I've set them to mine this and collect it, and I've set it to go back to the mailbox. And we'll see. Okay, yeah, here we reach the amount of energy that we have available. Seems like you ran out of energy. Go to the front of the space box, interact with the crank to recharge your current energy. So you can also recycle the robots, right? Wait, can I just... what, can I just crank just to get more and more energy?
Yep. So
Okay.
you don't actually ever need to recycle if you just put in the labor here. This was also something that we added kind of late, right, in the game. I think the way that it kind of worked was, in the beginning, everything was a lot more kind of tightly puzzle based, where we knew exactly what was going to happen at any one point. But it became this whole, like, we have this whole ecosystem that kind of just runs on its own. So that caused a lot of chaos in the game, which was why we also introduced the hand tool, so that you could, if there was something with a robot getting stuck on something, or an animal coming in and was just frustrating to, or deposits that just kept spawning stuff. Maybe it was like frustrating to sort it all out while it was happening. Like, you couldn't do it fast enough, so then it helped having the hand tool. The same thing with the recycle and the crank, right? It was just, at that point, it became kind of frustrating if you didn't have this kind of extra thing and you had to remove everything. So we just said, okay, you know what? Let's just give the player the opportunity to get the power back, so they can add even more. And then, if the player decides that they want to create a 1,000 workers, they can do it, and let's see how their machine handles that. Maybe it'll crash, but yeah, we just thought, okay, let's let players have the fun of doing what they need to do, when they need to, and that maybe that's for a purist for automation games, maybe that's not the best thing, but that's also why the game is kind of more it's something that we're trying to like say, okay, it's something that a kid could play. I don't think we ended up getting there. I don't think kids can there's a lot of text and stuff you need to keep track of, but yeah, it was just trying to alleviate some of that of the difficulty curve that we had introduced.
Yeah, but you do have a sort of like an easy automation game, or like an automation game that conveys also with the art style that it's not supposed to be like this super hardcore compared to something like Factorio, which is very hardcore automation, right?
Yeah.
I should be able to welcome an alien now. So we'll get Trevor to go settle here. Trevor was looking for a way to make music with these crystals. Ding! There you go. There's Trevor. Let's see, how do you feel, Trevor? This is so rad. Trevor will be cozy here. Soon Trevor will ride the wave of inspiration. Alright. I got a new mission. Learn about supervisors so I can spawn a sorter with the spawner. So the spawner tool will be able to now spawn a sorter. Makes loops more efficient by sorting workers based on whether they're holding a specific item or not. So if I spawn that one in, I also get the tooltip here. I could aim at it, configure the sorter. It's currently set to nothing. It could be set to, for example, a stick. And the other is that an input or output over here? Let's see here. Is also set to a stick. Oh, it's all set to a stick.
It's yeah, it's like it's the green one that it's just the whole thing. So the red arm is just everything else goes everywhere else, and anything that's a stick goes this way. So now you can like say if you have a bunch of cluttered an area, right, that is like I just want only sticks from here. You get all your workers to pick up everything from that area, but then you can say, well, everything that isn't a stick just gets thrown in a pile, right? And then you can have another sorter next to this sorter that then further distributes, right? So you have one that maybe says, okay, all the sticks go here, and then the next one over says, well, all the carbon crystals go here, and then all the next ones, and that way you can kind of distribute like as if you were at a recycling station. Is the idea.
So I'm also being told here by the tutorial to open this tutorial page. Configure no yes. Yeah, so that's kind of an image that just shows the input of all these workers coming with whatever they have, and only putting one thing in one direction. Yeah. Okay, I think then we go back to the hub, because we still need to help one favor asker. So I haven't been... is it that you have two different types of missions and I have not been actually choosing a favor? I've been choosing something else.
Yeah,
oh, did I
no, I don't think you traveled. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to just travel over here before
you also... Yeah, you also have a thing to hand in. I can see the question mark being filled out means that you can hand in something.
Yeah. Let's see if it's highlighted anywhere. There's a lot of aliens over here with a lot of question marks.
Yeah, so the yellow ones are kind of your standard contracts, we call them, which are like your main quests, and then the favors are kind of like the side missions that are like helping a specific NPC with their quest line, which is not necessarily related to the whole Rebots corporation thing, but it's just like, for this character whose name is Basile, like getting her cantina to be nicer again. So it's like progressing her to restore that part of the spaceport.
Yeah, so she says she's the owner of the humble grubservatory, your home away from home. I'll say this place sure looks rustic. It was never all that modern, but it wasn't always this bad. That ship crash did a number on this place, and that's of course my ship crash. So with that ship crash, you're also creating like the whole setup, right? You're creating the mission, and you're creating a sense that I need to fix this. I think that's a fine way to kind of hook the player on the story. Well, she's not blaming me, she says. There's no point in that, but things could be better. I'll say, let me make it up to you. You mean it? You're super kind. Could you pick up some SOA pears? Soapy Sunday is always in high demand, and the pears on this port just don't cut it. I don't know where my supplier ran off. Alright, that's our next job. We need to get soap pears so we can make soapy Sundays.
Oh, I can see where your thing is. It's Steve to the right. If you wanted the museum that you've scanned enough, you go this way. Yeah, to the left, and then down here, and then to the left.
Oh yeah,
over there.
Oh yeah, that guy, yeah. Steve. Yes, let's see here. How are things going, Star Assistant? As you can see, I'm very busy at the moment generating ideas. Have you scanned 20 different resources yet? I have. Excellent, you are really my Star Assistant. Here's the glyphs as promised. It will take some time to process this data, so come back later for some more once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Well, we get 5,000 glyphs or so. And talking to him again, he says, you might think it's weird that I'm just standing here, but I am generating ideas. I'll tell him good luck. And then I'll be off to try and do this favor of collecting soap pears. I think I saw those actually. Those are those purple pears we saw at one of the asteroids.
Yeah. They're like bars of soap. Yeah, so Taco has a thing I can see. Just like a special orange one, so it's just like the main quest thing.
Again, tying a little bit into the World of Warcraft iconography. Or
yes,
like,
it's the legendary quest line.
Yes, absolutely. Have you finished yet? I have held... Okay, actually, there's a question there. When you choose to do something like that, it resonates very well with me. I can sort of differentiate these because I know them. But you're running a little bit of a risk in a way that you are... Well, I don't know if it's a risk, but like for players who haven't seen this before, they will need to sort of establish their own kind of understanding of these.
For sure. That is a risk that you're running with it, but
I guess you need to choose something.
You're kind of like, yeah, you need to choose something, right? So at least that was a way to like, okay, there's probably a good chance that someone has played one of those games, right? Because I know it's not just Warcraft at this point, it's also other MMOs. But yeah, that's a fair point, right?
But yeah. I don't know, I think every game does that. I worked on Trailmakers, where we were also making some icons, and then it's a question of like, well, if it's a super important mission, it has to have a super flashy icon, and if it's just a regular small little mission, it just has a little bit of a more common, in a sense, symbol, more relaxed symbol, and that's a way to convey it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see here we have an asteroid called Loso where there are soap pear seeds. So if there are seeds, I'm guessing there are also pears. Let's try. Oh, and we get another tooltip here. Remember that you have the hauler. You can use it to transport resources from one asteroid to another. In order to complete Disco's job, you need to haul some resources. Go behind your ship and try to configure it. You can set it to output or input. Well, we will need to configure it to then take some input. And I guess that's because we need to actually grab these seeds and grow the pairs in another place maybe. Great, now you can change container to your liking. Sebastian out. And Felix in.
Yeah, no, I just think you have to, I think you can just grow them here and then put them in. And now it is in output mode. So the kind of thing turned around, right? Like it would drop something out, or now you can put something into it. It's the logic here.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And you have one on each side.
Okay, let's see if we can find the pairs to begin with. Well, it actually says put any resource in there. And so, okay, now this is the place where you end up actually just using your hand, right? This,
yeah.
Let's just place. Wait, can I place it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. This was just to complete the hauler tutorial, which happened to line up with the soap pair thing, right? So you've completed that now.
Yeah, so let's see if there are actually any soap pairs. Oh, I think this one.
Yeah.
This one. If we scan it, it says soap pair. Okay. Let's see. We could get a worker to. Then we grab the controller, press the worker to grab it, and then press the hauler, and there goes the worker. But here we have a large collection. Oh, whoa, okay, the whole floor here is these pairs. Okay, great. Wait, there are already robots here. Oh, this is the place where I was doing the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've kind of ended up in a state where they, each one of them just walk around with a mushroom.
Yeah, so the idea is that all your production lines are still retained, right? They're saved. So as you're playing the game, you might, all of a sudden think, oh, I need still this thing that, I did, hours ago on a different planet for a different mission. And then you come back and then, maybe they're still doing the same stuff that they were doing then.
Let's see here. I can set it to collect. Can I set it to collect specifically pairs? No.
Plants. There's a tab. There's an extra tab.
Collection.
Going to find extractable.
Oh, there we go. Soap pair cactus.
Soap pair cactus. But I think maybe it's set to. Oh yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And then we'll set it to collect. And then now I need to get all the workers over here. Is there a way I can just select all of my workers and tell them all to go here, like all of the existing ones, or would I need to grab my controller and direct each of them over here like this?
Yeah.
I really like that the robots are still here, and as you said, like the automation line that you've set up still exists here.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing that you can also do now is add a sorter in between, right? So if they pick anything up that isn't a soap pair, they can go drop it somewhere else. So some of those eggs or whatever.
Yeah, okay, so let's try that. Let's see, if I do the sorter, where would I need that though? Like, if they are picking up the pairs here, or like...
well, they aren't actually, the supervisor is actually just set to this pair tree, which is for it to cut it. So the workers might still pick up an egg next to it. They are just like thinking, I just pick up the stuff that is in the circle of influence.
let's see here. Okay, yeah, both of them
But
are set to these, but then yeah, a worker that enters this circle of influence is just being told you need to. Wait, don't do that. Oh, there we go. They're just being told to collect whatever is in here, right?
yeah.
Guess we could see if what kind of stuff they've been going backward to. Okay, yeah, we also have a problem now that some of them are running around with mushrooms at this point.
Yeah, but you have actually completed it. It says you can return to talk with Basil.
Yeah, let's do that then. Wait, don't I need to haul it back? Now it's in the hauler. Maybe I don't. That was just a.
It just is. It's with you now.
Okay,
So when you land here, you can actually see that it's in the hauler now. It's the same amount.
Yeah, so if I go out here and look at the hauler, yeah, I still have the 1 mushroom and the 15 pairs. Sebastian is telling us, remember that you have unlocked extendo legs.
Yeah, these are fun. This is my favorite thing in the game. Oh wait, they didn't give you the tutorial. I think you press the X button on keyboard.
So yeah, X, no.
Oh.
Extendo legs.
What
any
is
controls
the
here?
button? Yeah, if you press the keyboard thing there, and then
let's see here if there's extendo legs.
They might not work also in the spaceport actually, but yeah,
well, it does say
they
X,
probably
yeah.
don't work in. Yeah. Maybe you can show that next time you're on a planet, but they are they're kind of a called back to the whole RTS thing, which is this kind of Inspector Gadget kind of super long legs where you get a top-down view of the world in a very kind of funny way.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, let's go check that out. I went back to Basil. I completed her favor now, so I guess we should also go back to Taco maybe. I see Steve down there also has something new. But since we're just talking about the extendo legs, let's go just have a look at them. Oh, damn it! I pressed the wrong button there and landed straight back at the spaceport. So how do you arrive at something like extendo legs needing to be in the game?
I don't remember the original like discussion, but it came from like it's difficult to like get an overview of your production, and yeah, we were just like, wouldn't it be fun if you like, well, could get up, but we don't want you to be walking around and stuff, right, and or like flying around. So this was just like, okay, there are these kind of stilt spring legs that only go up or down, and you can't walk or anything. But yeah, I think there was just probably Simon again, just thinking, what if we did this? And we just
Simon,
said, yeah, let's do that.
What was his role on the project?
Art director, the art director.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were a small enough team that anybody could really add their ideas to the game. Like if you're an art director, you could still.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think most of the ideas were from Simon, right? For how it worked, like a lot of this more goofy kind of things. But we did have a lot of the ideas just came from people in the team, kind of jammed also on a lot of things, like almost game jam style, as kind of the roots also of the company for the games that we did. I think maybe Scratch is the game where we haven't done that, our next game, and I think there's a lot of kind of good that can come of the game jam stuff, and within a certain scope, right, of a thing. I think once you become too big of a team or the project expands too much, it becomes it becomes kind of unviable. I also think it can be kind of a too many cooks in the kitchen situation, which I personally believe Rebus became, that it like kind of lacked a solid direction, right? So it kind of just became a bit of all sorts of different things, which makes it unique for sure. And you see some weird stuff, but I think it also, I just think there's a lot of stuff in the game which was created for variations, so you didn't just do the same thing, but also maybe, you think, wait, why am I doing this now when the game wanted me to do this other thing before?
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. It's fun to jam. I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
So Taco here with the main quest line is asking us to just carry out more favors. I'm kind of thinking finding a way to unlock more robots that we can spawn so that we can sort of show off that part of the automation for the game. But there's also like these contracts available.
yeah.
So I guess I want
So
to ask you what do you think we should progress with here to kind of best show off? Oh, this is a new
um,
guy.
yeah, these are the tulipots, which are like plants and pots from alien race. I think like if you go into the codex again,
Mm-hmm.
and if you go to the progression tab, the very top one,
Mm-hmm.
progression. Here you can actually see how your current rank and what you've unlocked and how much kind of experience you have until you unlock the next thing. Um, and uh, the contracts are the ones that give you the most kind of XP in that, but obviously something like the favors for Taco give together a lot more. But some of those favors probably take a long time to do, so it's probably most like the most direct path to progress is just doing the contracts. But it is kind of a thing where, you know, I don't know what actually is. I've never tried like what is the most efficient, speed running path for,
No.
min maxing what you're doing. So I think, whatever you do is probably fine.
Yeah. Have you had players ever try and speedrun the game?
Uh, I'm sure there has. I haven't seen it, but I do remember some like reaching the end game very quickly. I don't know if they tried to speed run it, but I was pretty surprised when we heard that someone had done it within the whatever, within the first week.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we think like it takes a while just getting into the systems, right?
Mm-hmm. So what's the game length actually? How long do most players spend on the game?
I think it's like, yeah, I don't actually know. I think it is something like 20 hours or something like that. Um, but that's kind of the average, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it can probably be done a lot quicker.
Okay. I think I'll
Like
try
if you know
and
exactly what you're doing.
just collect different contracts at once here, and then I don't know. Maybe we'll skip this guy's text and
Mhm.
just grab like his mission, so we can get out and have different missions available to us as we go on the asteroids. Now I've
Yeah.
accepted two. Maybe I'll read the third one here. So that's another Trevor guy. This is Trevor Pistachio. This place is so chill, but not chill enough. Trevor's burned out from work and looking for a place to spend vacation. Trevor came here, but this spaceport has too much going on. If only there was an asteroid that was just right. Well, I can fix that. That's possible. Rebot here is like the best travel agent there is. Trevor loves the sound of sucker flies, so please raise a bunch, but not too many. Sucker flies are territorial and bound to a specific plant. That's how you can control their numbers. Too many flies, cut plants down. Too few, plant more. Okay. And the plant pot alien was looking to research some seeds. And then we have Steve over here, also with a new once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Rebots Corporation were quite impressed with the data that we sent, but now they're asking for even more information about this place. That means scanning more resources. This will be a more complicated assignment, but with our fair division of work, I think we can do it. So I need you to get out there and scan a bunch of new resources. I will be here generating new ideas and other very important stuff. Come back when you are done. So I guess you're kind of you're also giving a little nod to all those games that have these NPCs that they have stuff that they need done, but they can't ever do it themselves. They need the player to fix it, right?
Yeah. Trying to be a bit funny, I guess, about just games in general. This is the museum, so this is where all the stuff that you scan will show up. And then the museum itself will expand also.
We see a little bit of the stuff that we've been out collecting already. We have a collection of everything. Taco said you'll be responsible for filling this place by scanning. Oh, they'll print 3D models based on the information that I scan, so it's all fakes.
Yeah, and just in terms of all your quests, because they're not there right now, you can track them and untrack them in the codex. So you can have 3 showing at the same time, but then you can go in here and hit the untrack if you would like to track a different one.
Yeah, so now we have tracked to just help 4 favors. So let's untrack that one and then track, something like explore 8 asteroids. It says we've already explored 7, so it has already collected like the previous stuff we've been doing.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the things we need to do is find an uninhibited asteroid. Guess I'll go up here where this one seems... Oh, also, the one that we found here is called Sjælland, and of course that's that's where you've been developing the game, I suppose. You are like a Danish studio located on Sjælland, which is one of the Danish islands.
Yeah, I actually am unsure about the names of all the asteroids. I think some are just random stuff, right? And some are, I guess, kind of cameo or like little references to stuff that we, otherwise have. So yeah, I think it's kind of random what they are. I think this is actually Alice who wrote them all, also the level designer and the writer. So yeah, I don't know this name 777. It's so random.
Okikoklonoko is one of them. 777 is another one. Pronso. Calypso, that's a little bit more relatable. 77 Cat. Loso. Ceylon. And
this planet, you can see there's like an extra new job. So some of the previously completed missions that you do, they might have new stuff like the next thing in their quest line. So I mean, the game is kind of packed with always having stuff to do, right? So even if you get bored of one thing, you can maybe go do something else. That was also why we introduce all this reason. And maybe you want to just run around, scan stuff, and progress that way.
Yeah. Samsung is saying, hello, fellow Dane. So Samsung might be a Danish guy. Of course, we're both Danish, and well, the channel that I'm running is looking at Danish games, so a lot of the developers I'm having on here are Danish. Although not all. I think the game scene in general has a lot of foreigners working as well.
I think half our team are from Sweden, actually. So a lot of people just cross the border every day
Yeah, okay, living in
from
Malmö.
Malmö. Yeah.
So now I'm starting to wonder, Samsung, are you a developer as well, or just wait, how did you actually find this channel? You've been here before, so it must be one of the earlier games that you maybe knew about. Well, the mission that's now available is from the Trevor guide that we have moved to the planet. So Trevor is saying, Maestro, love the timing. Trevor's problem is a bit complicated. Like, Trevor is a hive mind. Oh, so now we have it. The thing you were speaking of, like with the whole race. All Trevor are same Trevor, kinda. Don't think too hard about it. Trevor tried and got a headache. Lately, this band has been super popular, and Trevor across the galaxy listen to it all day long. But since Trevor is a hive mind, that means Trevor has to listen to that stupid song too. Over and over and over. It's been weeks, Maestro, weeks. Well, then tell them to stop. Oh, dude, that's not rad. Trevor's not gonna tell Trevor not to have fun. No, Trevor has a better plan. Trevor needs Trevor to listen to something else, so Trevor is gonna write a hit song. It'll crash over the asteroid belt like a tidal wave. Everybody's gonna listen to that instead. While Trevor comes up with cool riffs, Trevor wants Maestro to go to the spaceport. Check what all the rad people are listening to, what's popular and stuff. I could do that. Alright, go to the spaceport and talk to aliens who look like they're all about music. Oh, okay, so that's a little bit more of a sort of adventure kind of mission and getting into the lore of the game more than it is the automation.
Yeah. That was the variety thing, right? That you might have something else that's just like go talk with someone and not necessarily, do stuff with the rebots, just as a break if you're like, I want to do something else.
Okay, let's see here. Now I've arrived to one of the planets that is uninhabited, and I think it was the Trash Planet quest that had us want to do something here. We need to have chunk reads above 12. Well, I guess we need to know if there are chunk reads on this planet then. We also need to find Mary Bee trees. I guess I've landed on a bad asteroid. I don't think we actually have any of those here. So I might just go fly again and keep that in mind as we're choosing which asteroid to explore. We can also buy access to new ones. Oh, and this one has chunk reads on asteroid Meow.
I think also maybe you have a visor now.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Is that this one?
Let's see. Yeah. It's like you can look at trees and see like how they and deposits to see how much do they still have on, like fruit, and are they growing, are they decaying? It's a whole like extra system on top, right? If you really want to dig into the underlying kind of ecosystem and see like how these flies are flying around and picking up the fruit and laying eggs, and when they die and stuff like that.
Are we able to sort of destroy the ecosystem? If we destroy all the plants, then all the animals end up dying, and we'll end up with a planet that is destroyed?
Yeah, I mean, So actually, in the world of Rebots, we don't call it dying. I know I just said it because that's what we say as developers, but it's migrating. So they migrate to somewhere else. Um, yes, it is possible to destroy an ecosystem to the point of you might not be able to get it back temporarily. Then you can progress other parts of the game, right? So you can get to the point where you can get the tools to then build it up again. But it is possible to, yeah, mess it up for yourself.
Yeah, because you can do it on purpose, and you can do it by accidentally having your robots collect too much.
Mhm.
I thought that this planet has chunk reads. Well, it also says we have
I
10
think
out
it's
of 12.
those. Uh, if you go, there those ones. I think
Oh
these.
yeah, this is one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean that these are the seeds? Bug bean, bright beans produced by
Yeah.
chunkweed can be turned into a seed if eaten by a woollyphant or lasered with the hand. Well, the woollyphant sounds more fun, but there isn't really a woollyphant around. So I can also just laser it like this. Bloop. It
Yep.
turns into. How do I grab? Oh, now I have it. Maybe I need to scan it first. It's a new entity, so we need to scan here. Let's see here. Chunkweed seed. This seed requires temperatures between -10 and +24 to grow. And how do I see the temperature?
You have in the codex. There should be in the HUD. Here you have like you can
Atmosphere.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can track this, and this then shows up in your HUD, right? You can also just look at it in the codex.
Yes, so we see the temperature is good enough actually for these seeds to grow. So let's see what else it needs. Scanner. It grows into a sprout if fertilized, and it also needs 250 carbon dioxide to grow. So again, let's look at the HUD. Carbon dioxide, is that also in here? Gases, carbon dioxide. Well, there's plenty of carbon dioxide, so that should be fine. But it said that it needed to be fertilized, didn't it?
Yeah. So you need some fertilizer, which you get it from woollyphants as their poop. You can also get like, I think you can create it, but I don't think you can do it at this point in the game. And you can also buy it, but also I don't know if you can do that yet. I think if there aren't any woollyphants here, you probably need to find some on a different planet, and then collect their excrement and then haul it here, or take a lot of seeds and haul it there. So kind of up to you what you want to do, but it probably makes sense to let the seeds be there because the temperature and all that was good.
All right, let's try and find one of the woollyphants that we know we have been seeing somewhere, and then collect that poop and fly it across the galaxy.
Oh, I think it actually says it right there, right? The one above. Yeah,
Oh, poop.
Six pieces.
6 pieces of poop available on this asteroid. Let's go collect it.
And if you feed the woollyphants, they will produce more poop. So you can give them the berries that grows on the trees there if they don't eat it themselves. So every time they eat, they should spit out or poop out.
Yeah. Oh, great. There we
There.
go. This
Yep.
woollyphant is hungry and creating very nice poop for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
there's
creates a
new
seed and a
entity as
poop.
well. Okay, so let's well, we could collect it by hand, but let's not. Let's collect this with a worker. So we create a worker, and then with the controller we can tell it to pick up the poop, and I guess put it in the hauler. Now this to me doesn't seem like a task where we really need to start automating it, because we only need like a few pieces. I guess maybe if you're more familiar with the game, then you start being very quick at automating as well. But right now it's almost easier to just like spawn a worker for each of the poop that we need to collect, and then send them over there.
Yeah. So the thing is that this is definitely the most quick way to like just get, you know, to the next step of the game. The thinking was kind of, well, maybe at a later point you need a lot of poop, and so if you have already set up the loop at that point, you know, it's quicker for you to come back here, and then maybe there's been the stuff has just been, you know, it's still just, or it's just working, so you just have all that already available to go, rather than coming back at a later point in the game and then having to do the manual kind of, okay, now I need maybe 100 poop. Now I have to do it all individually, right?
Do you get to a point in this game where you need 100 poop?
I, I don't remember, but it might be that you do, right? But it's possible that there's also a different. Maybe you can just buy it at that point, like the fertilizer at the shop. So yeah.
Okay, I have an issue now. I have a mushroom in here, and I need to get the mushroom out to make space for the poop.
Yeah, so you can take it with the hand actually.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Why are they? Oh, I guess I need to change this then to accept stuff. Yeah, there we go. Oh, very nicely goes back in line, even though he has nothing to deliver. What about these guys on the other side? I haven't really figured out that they need to go over here. Okay, I don't know if we needed more. I don't think we did. I think there were actually 10 out of 12 planes, so we probably just need to grow 2 new ones.
Okay.
Let's see, where was it? It was somewhere over here. Chunk reed seeds. Let's fly over here. There we go. Okay, so at this point in the game, you're kind of just establishing a little bit of knowledge about your own little, your own little generated galaxy. Do you do it by seeds so that you can generate the same asteroid again, or is it truly unique each time?
There's a seed. Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. If I take the hand, I can use the laser on these seeds, right? But then I would need to place the poop on top of the seed. Let's see here. Let's go over here. What engine did you make it in? Is this in Unity?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We get some feedback here. It looks like something is happening, and the seed is
if you look at it with the visor, maybe.
Oh, with the visor you can see it. Let's let me
yeah,
grab
if you look at the
seed.
thing, then you should see like the progress kind of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Like so, maybe.
Uh,
Maybe there isn't. It seems like there is on the fully grown one. It has a countdown over here to maybe reach its next stage. Oh,
yeah.
this also has. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's just some. I don't know.
I think we're just standing very, very close to it.
Or perhaps it's a bug. That could also be the case that it's kind of offset. Okay, the other one is growing.
Yeah, there we go. And so now we have 11 out of 12 chunk reads on this trash planet. But this one doesn't seem to be growing. Wonder what's wrong with that one. Let's try and move it a little bit away. Maybe it's too close. Oh, there's a countdown.
Ah, there.
Just wait.
Maybe it just didn't have enough space before.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. At least now it's a sapling, a sprout, and then if I activate the visor, yeah, okay, there's another 10 seconds or so before it activates into a fully grown.
Yeah. Now you can scan it again.
Oh, okay, so it's not fully grown yet, actually. Now it's a sapling. And then if we wait another 20 seconds or so, then it will be a fully grown one. Then we'll have the first one, 12 out of 12 chunk reads. But then we need to cut non-chunky plants. So we need to cut 35 of them. And 35, then we're kind of reaching a number where you don't really want to do it by hand anymore. Unless you are very into maybe games like Minecraft or Valheim, where you, yeah, you know, enjoy just cutting stuff down.
Yeah, so here I would recommend making a supervisor that is set to, or sorry, extractor that is set to cut, and then cut that specific tree. So if you have fine extractable to be the pine tree, which is the one that are here, then it'll just walk around to all the pine trees that are here, and the workers will just follow along.
Okay, and then we can just kind of spam workers inside this working zone here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy available here, so let's see if we can crash the computer with a ton of workers. Oh, not enough energy. So now I either need to go crank the energy, or I need to be patient with my worker force. I see the legs here.
Only a select few can cut the tree, right? So this is where you want to distribute the workforce with multiple of the extractors.
Can I work from all the way up here?
You can, but you don't have enough energy.
Let's see. There was a way to just kind of recycle. Let's recycle a couple of these.
Yes.
And then with the spawner, go spawn another extractor in here. Set it to also cut and cut trees. And there we go. I guess they will sort of split up a little bit. No, they won't. We need to assign these over here.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're already, you know, making it a lot more effective.
Can only one of them be cutting? Like, it seems like in this small workforce, only one of them... Oh, there we go. No, they just needed to sense a new tree.
Yeah. And now you have all those sticks on the ground, right? So while they're doing that, you could have workers start, you know, collecting. So you could have an extractor pick up and have a sorter that just says, I only want sticks, because there's a lot of stuff there. There's like rocks and some pine cones and stuff. So, and then you want to send all that to the mailbox.
Yeah, let's try and see here. This, I think that's the mailbox, and then send it
which
back
is
again.
In the landing zone.
Yep. And then we need to set this one to collect. And right now it would then
Yeah,
also
and you
collect
can't.
the eggs.
Yes. So you need a sorter to only get sticks.
And by now the whole force is running away over there. Can I even... I might need to get closer in order to recycle. Oh, there we go. I think that's fine. The sorter... Oh no, it's too expensive. Okay. Recycle a worker more. And then, let's see here. Then we could place a sorter here. And control the sorter to say you can only pick up... What are we picking up? We're picking up sticks. So there we go. Let's see here. This guy. Let me get down here. This guy is currently set on the extractor. Should he be set on the sorter itself?
Yeah. You need to like make a connection from the extractor to the sorter, and then from the sorter to the mailbox, and then from the mailbox back to the extractor.
I think
you select you target the hand. It's or the arrow thing.
wait, let me see here.
So you point it at the green thing or the red
go.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's the part now, right? Oh, although I hit something way over there. What's that?
Oh.
Can I see with my my scanner what I'm hitting over there? It's it's
I
a
think you
new
made
entity. It's another extractor. Oh no.
I think you it's the green arrow that you pointed to that.
So grab the green arrow, put it at the mailbox. I think we're now setting up correctly. Where's the worker? He's there. Grab him and put him at the sorter.
Yep.
Well, he has stone now. Does
now he has stone, but he doesn't know what to do with it because the red thing isn't pointing to do anything. So you need another extractor that can tell someone to put stuff down.
Let's see, extractor, but then I need more energy because I've been spending all my energy on all these guys that are now doing nothing because they've cut down actually the entire planet's trees. So I might be breaking down the ecosystem now.
I mean, you could just take the one that you already have, right? That extractor there. I mean, just recycle him and then spawn him again. It's probably faster than making him walk. Although then you also need to do it for the workers, but
Okay, let's see here. Now I have a new extractor. I can set that up by saying you need to drop things if you are on this one, and then the sorter would need to point to that extractor.
Yes, and then him back to the first extractor so that you kind of make a loop again, right? So, and I would recommend putting the drop guy some way away from everywhere where you pick up, so they don't just pick up the stuff that you just dropped away again. So just select his body, like his legs and stuff, and then just move him somewhere, you know, where there's no sticks.
So that they don't overlap. Okay, there's still sticks somewhere around there, but maybe here?
There, yeah.
Let's see if the worker carries out the task correctly now.
Yeah, he's still not connected to the first extractor, right? Or is he? No. So you need to select the drop extractor head and then back to the that one. Yeah.
Okay. It seems like so now he's doing the work, but of course he's all alone. Let's grab some friends for him.
Yeah.
Wait, could I use the controller here to just point them, and then if I point at the circle, is that enough for them to figure out what's going on in that circle?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So what's been the main challenge of designing this system and conveying that to the players?
Everything. I mean, the thing is the fact that I also needed to, just explain to you, and I think you were actually pretty smart for all this. I think it's amazing that we've been able to talk while you could play, because I think this game just is very difficult to do that. And I just think a lot of the tutorialization was difficult to do. It's very difficult to demo the game to someone new. Like, it's not a pick up and play kind of game. I mean, you can mess about, but so yeah, I think conveying what you're supposed to do. I was handling all the UX, right, and grabbing stuff from everywhere, but it's very difficult when you have so many underlying systems, and there was this kind of mentality for a long time that we didn't want any UI in the game. Everything should be diegetic, like in the world, which is why all the robots have like screens showing stuff. We went away from that because we were like, we can't do it. We need actual 2D UI, and I think we ended up kind of overcompensating. So we have the codecs and all this text, and but yeah, I mean, that's just the kind of game that that I guess we ended up going for, is this like a lot of systems and stuff that you need to keep track of, and yeah, conveying that is very difficult. And I think like something, this is kind of menial, right? But at least now that you've set it up, you don't have to think about it anymore. Now it just goes, and it might take a bit before everything is sorted, but I think you can maybe imagine how, if this is just progressing for long enough, all of a sudden you have like a whole deposit maybe of, well, still random stuff at this point, but if you set this up a bit more, you would maybe sort all the pine cones into one pile, all the rocks into another pile, all the eggs into another pile, and maybe you don't need all of that stuff now, but maybe at a later point, hours from now, you're like, oh, now I have a quest where I need all these pine cones. Right, I had this asteroid where I already did all the sorting. So now it's much simpler just to grab it all and go.
Yeah, I think this is the point where we kind of start seeing like this whole automation come together. There's another person in the chat, someone called Bunks, someone I don't know, but says, hey guys, hope you're having a good time. Ever since I started working in the Danish game industry, I've been amazed by all the creative and kind people I've met. I think it's a really cool initiative to stream all this. These games deserve all the eyes they can get. Thank you very much, Bunks. Very curious to hear who you are or where you work. But absolutely, I started this channel because I also started working in the games industry, and I just discovered more and more games that I didn't know about and that nobody else knows about. Like Danish people, they can mention just like a handful of games, like maybe 2 games, maybe like 2 Danish games, right? There's so many games out there, but people don't know about them, especially the Danish people don't know about any Danish games, and I thought that was very sad. So I'm glad that that you like this, and I'm very happy that like if you are discovering Rebots for the first time now. Oh, you're a programmer at Flat Ponies, checking up at your dear coworker. Okay, Felix, do you know who Bunks is?
Yes, it is my colleague Jesper from Sweden. Actually, we were talking about Sweden before, Jesper. Jesper did not work on Rebots. He actually came in after. Well, I don't think Rebots was. I think we were about to launch or like a bit off, but Jesper is working on Scratch.
Scratch,
but
the cat,
nice
which
of you
is
to
your
join.
next game coming up.
Yes, scratch the cat. Yes, our next game. Yeah.
I think while we've
Sorry.
been talking a little bit and waiting for these bots, they've actually broken down. There are still sticks in here, but they seem to be running around. Like if you focus on this guy, for example, right? He's carrying a
Yeah, I can
stone,
see that.
and
It is
maybe
possible that they don't have a
maybe
space for it, although it
yeah.
should.
Let's see here. Let's go over somewhere where there's space. See if that helps them out. Yeah, I think so. So I really like how you
Yeah.
compared them to Lemmings, the game Lemmings, where you have to, yeah, sort of just keep babysitting your little army of lemmings and telling them very specifically to grab an umbrella before they go off a cliff or something like that. And it's sort of the same here.
For sure.
Let's see. I
Are
think
they not
actually we
dropping the
completed.
sticks off at the mailbox?
Yeah, I think we have
Oh,
completed the task. Maybe.
yeah. Yeah. You're missing 10 chunky plants, non-chunky plants.
Oh, so we need to. So we were cutting those down, but we need to collect them, or what? Oh, wait, they still need to be.
Oh,
We cut too many.
there's still some, but no, I think there's still plants that are not the pine trees. Like you see these right there. These are not. These are like mint bushes, I think.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
those you also want to cut down. I mean,
yeah,
you can do it with the hand, of course, but
let's try and see if we can't do it automated with all these
mhm,
rebots. So we did earlier have an extractor, which was set to
mhm,
then cut down those kind of trees, right? So it was
yep,
set to cut, and it was set to cut down pine trees only. But now, yeah, okay, we can set it to cut the mint bushes. Okay.
yes,
And in that case, let's. Oh my. Okay. Now we have a whole system. How do I do this without breaking it down as
yeah.
well?
So you don't need to break it, right? You can just leave it as is, and you can crank more energy with the crank, so you can spawn more workers. So you can
Hmm.
leave this system kind of, still just going if you need it in the future. So you don't have to, uh, yeah, think about that.
Yeah. But let's see here. For example, if I have a worker by this extractor, they now know to cut the mint bush.
Mhm.
Wait, isn't this extractor? It isn't really following the mint bush, is it? Didn't it do that before with the
It
pine
should
tree?
be.
Find extractable.
Yes, it should. Yeah. It just follows the next closest, and any worker in here would cut down that thing.
Let's see here if we get a worker over here.
It
Okay,
should
there we
start
go.
cutting it. Yeah.
Yes.
And now it'll just follow to the next one, right? And the next one, and the next one.
Mm-hmm. And we're cutting it down without really collecting anything, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm also looking forward to your game Scratch the Cat. I saw it at like the Copenhagen Gaming Week. It was how do you say it was highlighted, was presented there. So I'll
Yeah.
just
It was part of
redistribute
the
some of the
tomorrow's
workers here.
awesome game showcase.
Mm-hmm. When do you expect that game to be released? Maybe that's too early for you to say, but if
I
you can.
can't disclose any release
No.
date yet, but yeah, that's. But we're hard at work on it. Yeah, the but it'll be a little bit. But I think like we're looking for, making our next big update, and there will be a demo at one point. We're currently testing it with a close group of people, and then we're going to expand that into a public demo. so everyone can try.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm kind of thinking now with this setup that I'm having here, right? I know that these are gonna cut down this. Could I leave the planet and would they continue working here while I was off the planet?
I actually don't remember. I think I think no. I think they kind of it's just kind of frozen while you're gone. But I could be wrong on that one. Um,
They're chopping
I
down the
remember
wrong
there were.
plants now.
Oh no!
Why are
I
they doing
remember
that?
there was a talk. No, that's correct. That's a mint nut bush.
Yeah, but they were also chopping down. See this reed? they're
Oh
going
no!
they're going off
Oh
script.
no!
Why are they
Oh
doing that?
no! What?
Controller. So it's set to cut mine. Wait, now it's not set to find the mint bush anymore. Wasn't it at the
No.
mint
But
bush
okay,
just before?
now. Okay, I don't know why that was happening. They shouldn't, but you're only 3 chunk plants off, chunk reeds. Right?
So then the
Or
question
above
is if I
3.
have enough elephant poop, and I think I do.
You do.
Create
It might not be
seeds
able to
here.
grow there though. So you probably
Oh,
have
it
to
seemed
move
like
them a
it was
bit out.
a little bit too close before. Redistribute these seeds a little bit. And now see if I can find them. There we go. So I think it's a really interesting mix, this game, of you know, that first person kind of relaxed adventure game, and you have a little bit of like lore and quests and NPCs that you talk to, and then this whole automation. It's I think very unique. Did I lose the last seed?
Yeah, where did it go?
There it is.
Oh, there. Yeah.
It's a very handy legs that that you put in here. You can also activate the visor to then survey the progress of these. Bloop, growing. And there we go. Okay. So hopefully then they will grow, and then hopefully this one will not start chopping them down again.
Yeah, I don't think they will because it's not searching. It's probably just because something about them being in the vicinity of the midnut. So it was like, oh, you're also something I can cut.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be like that, but I guess there's a fog there.
I guess it's just cutting and mining whatever is in there, and then then this is like what it should actually be finding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're just waiting for that one now. Yes, now we can welcome an alien to the planet. Welcome Pamhaug. Let's see here. Trash planet. Welcome alien to the trash planet.
Yeah, and you got a new rebot. And an extra hauler slot.
Let's see what he has to say. Ugly, trashy, and absolutely perfect. This is it, my dream retirement. You have my thanks, trash maker. Thanks, I guess. Trash maker is a poople term. It's the heights of compliments. Alright. You said I got a new rebot. Let's look here at the scanner. Now we have unlocked the combiner. Oh, and I can actually see which ones we have not unlocked. So there are 5 more. For a total of 9 different rebots.
Yeah, and you can also see it in the progression tab in the codex, like which stage, like which level you would unlock it at. You can kind of look ahead.
I'm just gonna crank some more energy here. This this is an absolutely silly, goofy way to to earn more energy. I like it. Let's see. Make a combiner. Okay, so we can have two inputs for one output, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say that, for example, we would like better. Oh, okay, we just choose here what we want to create. Like, for example, we will choose to create a berry cake, and it says we will require better and merry berries. All right.
Yep. Some recipes might be like there's multiple ways to create the same thing. So I saw it says like syrup 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here for our missions now, and also we should take a look at the time. I think at this point we haven't actually really agreed
Mhm.
on an ending time, but we're nearing 10 o'clock and we've been here for 2 hours. So
Yeah.
maybe we should start considering that. Is there anything that you feel like would be nice to kind of show off? You sitting on anything?
Um. No, I mean, I think you've kind of covered all the main, like, this is shown kind of the main core loop of the game, right? And obviously it gets way more advanced now with the combiner, and you also get like a separator, which is the opposite of a combiner. And
Mm-hmm.
you kind of end up the end game is like what are they called, the constructors, like they can build buildings. So it becomes a much more kind of, you have your mass production thing. Um, yeah, no, I think you covered pretty much the game as what it is you need to do on a kind of bare bones level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at also like the variety of also some of the kind of random stuff you can do that isn't the automation gameplay. Um, but yeah, no, I think that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of want to at some point, play until the end and then maybe make like a 10-minute video or something to show off how it ends up looking at like the late stage. Sort of what kind of crazy setup you need to make. And like I'm also just curious to see how that is. So I think yeah, you've made a game that is easy enough to get into and then has a promise of something more, and like you've conveyed here that we're gonna, well, we're halfway with the robots that we've unlocked, but I'm guessing it's just gonna be exponentially more um, yeah, convoluted. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
um, well, if there isn't anything especially yeah, that we need to cover, I think we should end it here. And I think it's been really, really nice.
Yeah, so do I. Thanks for having me. Able to talk about this. I haven't looked at the game for well, I think like since it almost around the time it came out. So it's been fun kind of revisiting it again, looking at it. Um,
When
yeah,
was it released actually? Was it in 2024?
yes, in the fall, October, I think.
Mm-hmm. So almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. You end up spending so much time and you end up completing it 100 times before you release it. And then once it is released and it's finally in that stage where you can play it from end to end, then you never really end up playing it from end to end.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think also, just on a personal level, that I'm pretty bad at these kind of games. So so it's like, yeah. Uh, I never completed Rebots, even though it probably should have. But it's, yeah. Also on game development side, you're kind of just, you're working so much with games that, yeah, you just don't. Like, you might play a level for such a long time that you don't really do okay, I'm just gonna do the whole thing from A to B, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
because
yeah,
by the end of it, through development, you have completed the whole game. You've just completed it in all these, different
exactly.
pieces. Yeah. Okay. Um, well, thank you so much, Felix. It's been really nice having you. It's been really nice taking a look at Rebots. Thanks, Bunks and Samsung, for tuning in, and maybe see you another time.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And would love to do another one once we have scratched the cat out
Oh
at
yeah,
some point.
absolutely. Yes.
So
Yeah, but you can't say when that's gonna be. So we're
I
just
can't
gonna
say
have
when
to
that
keep our eyes and ears open. How can we
it
follow that one and know?
uh I mean, we are on all the bigger social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Uh,
And
what
there's
else is
also
out there?
yeah.
I
There's also a
forget.
Steam page
YouTube,
for it, right? And a
Steam. Yeah, we're on
Discord.
Steam.
Yeah.
We're on Discord. We have the Flat Ponies friends. Come join us there. That's also a way to get, the latest news also on playtesting, which you might be able to get picked out for, which is both, more finished stuff, but also something that could be more early. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, follow us there.
All right. Great. Let's end it with that. Thank you so much.
Hmm. Thank you, and have a nice eve and whatnot. Take care.
Yeah. You too.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, I just wanna finish this stream by saying that there are other games coming. Like, I have a small little schedule here. So I usually stream Monday mornings. Of course, right now it is a Tuesday evening, but we just kind of put this in because there was an opportunity for Felix to be here. But I will be doing on Monday, actually not a stream of a game, but a stream where I'm gonna talk with the organization called Women in Games in Denmark. It's an organization that just has sort of like meetups for women who work in games, in the game development scene. They are not as many as there are men working in the industry, and for that reason they've kind of created their own little community, so they have someone to meet up with, and they've just established themselves as a what do you call that, official organization, a business organization. So I'll have a talk with them about why they're doing that and how that is relevant to both men and women in the games industry, what they do and what they don't do. And they just had like an opening party last week where men were also welcome to come and hear what they were all about. So I'm gonna have a talk with one of the organizers of the group, but mostly it's about games, and then inviting the game developers to talk about their games. So I think in 2 weeks it's gonna be a small game jam game called Dame Exam, where you are a teacher and the kids in your class are all cheating for their exam, and you have to kind of catch them cheating and throw them out. If you're interested in any of that, then yeah, come hang out and explore new games and hear the stories behind the games as well. But yeah, thank you for being here, and maybe see you another time.